a judge has blocked DOGE from accessing some of the Social Security data. Put it at full mass. I guess this is a victory. So Leland Dudek, acting Social Security chief, now says he will not shut down the agency after the new ruling. The acting commissioner of the Social Security Administration now says he is, quote, not shutting down the agency, end quote, after earlier suggesting he might do so in the wake of a judge's ruling limiting the Department of Government Efficiency's access to sensitive agency data. So Leland, the acting head of the agency, said in a statement Friday he received clarifying guidance about the judge's temporary restraining order related to the activities, okay? And it says today the court issued clarifying guidance about the temporary restraining order related to the employees and to DOGE activities at the SSA. Therefore, I am not shutting down the agency. President Trump supports keeping Social Security offices open and getting the right check to the right person at the right time. SSA employees and their work will continue under the TRO. So in an order Thursday, U.S. District Judge Ellen Lipton Hollander blocked the agency from granting personnel affiliated with the external office, DOGE, access to agency systems containing personally identifiable information. In a series of interviews on Thursday and Friday, Dudek appeared to suggest that the judge's ruling blocked DOGE from accessing SSA data, would force him to pause payments, Social Security payments, and block all employees from the agency system. Quote, my anti-fraud team would be DOGE affiliates. My IT staff would be DOGE affiliates, he said to Bloomberg News on Thursday. As it stands, I will follow it exactly and terminate access by all SSA employees to our IT systems. He continued, quote, really, I want to turn it off and let the courts figure out how they want to run a federal agency. And in a separate Washington Post interview, he doubled down, suggesting, quote, everything in the agency deals with personally identifiable information. Everything in this agency is PII. Unless I get clarification, I'll just start to shut it down, and I don't have much of a choice here. Wow. There's more. So the judge pushed back on Friday with a letter to counsel. Quote, any suggestion that the order may require the delay or suspension of benefit payments is incorrect. Such assertions about the scope of the order are inaccurate. Employees of SSA who are not involved with the DOGE team or in the work of the DOGE team are not subject to the order. Moreover, any suggestion that the order may require the delay or suspension of benefit payments is incorrect. Put up the judge again. You see, I like your style, Judge. You peep game. You already knew what they were attempting to do. They were looking for a scapegoat, somebody to blame, somebody to, well, throw at their base. Oh, it's their fault. Clarifying letter. It's not going to work with this group. Judge, you're going to have to hold some people in contempt. You're going to have to lock them up. And Elon and his cronies are going to try you. All right? that will be in direct violation of your order. You are protecting people. You're standing up. These individuals care not. Yasmin, I really believe that this whole DOGE move and shutting down government, all offices quickly, right? I think at a point, DOGE is going to become private. And at that time, they will have institutional knowledge and executive control over the main federal agencies in the United States of America. I believe that's part of the plan.
That seems to be the game plan these days, is that everything goes private, right? Everything is more profitable once it's private. And we know that Elon Musk loves his profits. I don't know, he might try to do something to turn something around over at Tesla, but so far, it's not going very well for him. But this story, it's such a case in point of what's going on throughout various levels of our government right now. There's just chaos right now. And I feel like that has to be part of the game plan. Also, the speed with which DOGE is moving, as you mentioned, I feel like that's like, let's hurry up and get as much things done and dismantle as much as we can while we still have access, while we still have the power and authority to do it, while the people are still letting us do it. So that's what it comes down to. People don't know what's happening right now in their government. They don't know how to plan or prepare for what's happening. And people don't know if they'll be able to continue doing the work that they've built their careers off of. There is a lot of uncertainty, but the thing is, we knew that all of this was coming. They told us what they were going to do before however many millions of people voted for this administration back in November. So these small victories are worth talking about and they're worth celebrating, but why has it taken so long for Democrats to start fighting back against this administration and Elon Musk? Why didn't they have a better game plan in place since November? There was like at least a couple of months between November and January when they could have been preparing for what they knew was coming. We're finally starting to see some of them get their sea legs. We're finally starting to see some of them fight smarter, ready to meet Republicans where they are and play their own game against them. Bernie and AOC, they're on tour right now and they're pulling massive crowds in red states and red districts, which is very encouraging. In the meantime, however, we still have people like Schumer and Pelosi actively working against the will of the people, or at the very least, they're doing as little as possible to impede the destruction that this administration is trying to inflict on our government and our institutions. They're not even standing in the way, right? They're stepping aside and they're talking about things that their voters have expressed vocally and in no uncertain terms that they do not support. How many people in November did not vote for Kamala Harris because she didn't do or say enough in support of the Palestinians? How many people didn't vote for her because she chose not to distance herself from Joe Biden's policies toward Israel and the Palestinians? Why doesn't Chuck Schumer, who in his own words is the best person to run our Senate, why did he say that it's his job to defend Israel? And why does he not understand that it's not going to win him or the Democratic Party widespread support amongst voters? This one issue has divided Democrats in a way that we have not seen in a very long time. I know someone like Chuck Schumer is not going to just change which side of that particular debate he's on, but his stubbornness when it comes to this just shows that he's either not listening to voters or he doesn't care about what voters have to say. What we need in the Democratic Party right now is more people who are willing to fight against what's happening, fight for their constituents, and fight for the things that they campaigned on. A lot of the Democrats right now that were elected into government, they're just sitting idly by, and that is not enough. It's not. I don't care what the reason is as to why they're doing what they're doing or not doing what they're not doing. I don't care. We need people who are willing to do more than this lame duck Congress we have right now.
That's right. Make a way or get out the way. We got people ready to lead, and that's what infuriates me. And they would be much better than the current stop. All right.